Hi guys, and welcome back to another game of Age of Empires 2. So this is going to be another game where two people played and I'm neither one of them. In the green we have Sahil Nayan 112, and I believe he is from India. And then in the red we have Mandahar. That's my best guess at that. And I'm trying to remember where he's from. I think he's from United States. Yeah, he's from United States. So, oh yeah, Mandahar is playing as the Aztecs, and Sahil is playing as the Berbers. Sahil likes to play Berbers a good bit, at least from what I've seen anyway. But for those of you who know, the Berbers, the main strategy that people tend to go for is going to be their discounted knights or stable units. It could be camels as well, if they know they're going up against knights. But they also have the Genitour, which is like a mounted skirmisher, which honestly I've always thought was a pretty cool unit, but it's so situational. It does good against Mongols and any, horse archer civ, but that's pretty much about the only thing it gets used for. And then they also have their camel archers, which are pretty cool, and regenerate health. Which can be helpful in gold restricted games. So let's take a look and see what the players see. Red is scouting over here, and green is making a loop around. It looks like he is spotting them. Yep. It's always smart to try and when you see the large piles of stone or gold. Oh no. Got some hits on him, but it looks like green might be able to get away. Yep. Circling the TC to keep his scout alive. Oh no! Oh, that hurts. Meanwhile, red runs through green's base, and yeah, no hits on him. Alright. Green getting some lumber camps up, two of them to maximize efficiency. Red is doing the exact same thing, and both players are roughly around 1,000 elo, 900,000. Looks like red is deciding to go to gold relatively early. He has clicked loon, whereas the green player is already on his way to feudal, and there we go, red is clicked up now. Alright, cool. Population exactly the same, 21 for 21. Red still has his Eagle Warrior Scout, or Eagle Scout, and green lost his Scout, as we saw. Having a Scout is such a huge part of the game. Like, to lose it, you can always build another one, but to lose your Scout early on, it's a big loss. But it happens sometimes. Green is walling up. Wants to protect the right flank of his base and the left flank of his base. Okay. Not a really easy map generation for green. All his woodlands are in the back. And some of his resources, like his main gold, are pretty far forward. And there's a hill pretty close to him as well. Let's see, red's base, his resources are pretty far forward. Green's in feudal now. Yeah, actually he's got a pretty wide open base too, so neither player has an easily walled base. Which usually, if you're wide open like this, red's in feudal too now. If you're wide open like this, you have two options. You can go for the expensive walling up, or you can go for a more aggressive stance. It all depends. But both players are starting the wall, and green chopping some straggler trees. because that's what we do at 1,000 elo. I do the same thing. Usually I set a waypoint to it just so I don't have a villager sitting idle, and if I'm trying to build more farms, chop some straggler trees, get some more wood, and then build the farms. But then after that I try and send them to my lumber camps. Get some idle vills here sitting for red. So red is one villager behind, but has a much better score, mostly due to his scouting. You can see here the difference in scouting. And then also he has a couple of military members out already. I don't know if, I think I would have included that gold in my base, honestly. Build it out to the corner. He is including the stone in his base, though. And red is going for a double archery range. And building some spearmen. Probably expecting some scouts from Berbers. That's usually pretty standard play, is to get some scouts out. He's got his scout here, who took a little bit of damage. Sitting there just keeping an eye on seeing what's coming out. And red is pressuring with some archers. Not really attempting to kill anything right now, just trying to delay, harass, waste time. Now red does have more idle eco time than green. Green's been better about keeping his villagers working. And green gets a scout out and decides to attack or fight red. Looks like red will lose that. Spearman coming forward now. See if maybe he gets some pokes on green. Nope. So 6 archers and 1 spear.
Yeah.
Green pulling back a little bit. Still collecting some deer over here. Decided to farm that. Finished his berries. Got a second scout out. Did lose the scout over here. And red is just content to harass and annoy. Coming into the base now. See what he can see. Another scout for green. Yeah, lucky for green, he got the berries all finished up, so there's nothing to harass here, but he will have to pull away from the wood line here. Getting an archery range, probably going to try and build some skirms, maybe. He does have 4 scouts, but, you know, that 1 spear could be problematic. You got to take him out first, and a skirmisher coming out for green. Needs more than that. I got a second skirmisher. Trying to send his villagers back to wood. Trying to avoid the spear. Take a good engagement. Super. Oh. 1 scout goes down. A skirmisher goes down. But the spear is down. A second scout goes down. Not a bad engagement for red. Cleaning up most of green's military, but he's going to need to pull away now because green can keep popping out these skirmishers, and that's just not a good fight for red. Having to take a long way around because green was mostly walled up. And the KD is 8 for red and 5 for green. Couple more archers. And red is deciding to tech into some Eagle Scouts. Eagle Scouts are anti-archer and anti-skirmisher, so they're going to do very well against the skirmishers if green were to continue pumping them out, which is what red is hoping for. Hoping he'll overreact. Building a lot of skirmishers, expecting the Aztec player to go into archers, I'm assuming. A third lumber camp is up. Now green's going heavy onto farms. You know he wants to get to Castle Age as quickly as possible. And like I said, usually the strategy is to try and get those cheap stable units out quick once you hit Castle. And green is chasing red's last 2 archers around, all the way around the map. Getting some scouting in, though. It's not a bad thing. And red is on the way to Castle Age first. He didn't have any delay of eco because of his base being raided or anything. But when you look at the idle eco time, it's actually extremely similar, 4.8% to 4.7%. And the KD is 8 to 7. So very, very, very similar in eco and things like that. Now, I will say that because red invested more in the military and clicked up first, he only has 36 villagers. Green is going 42 villagers, and you kind of have to wonder why he went for that. But if you were going for maybe a fast Imperial, maybe. It's just risky on something like, Arabia that's wide open. Especially when you only have 4 skirmishers. And there he goes, he clicks up the castle. So 36 villagers for red, 43 for green. Red will be inside of Castle Age about 2 minutes of game time before green. So green's going to have to survive anything that red throws at him during that time. Another thing about the green player is he doesn't build a lot of gates. In both games I've watched of his, he mostly goes palisades and house walls, which then anytime he wants to get troops out, he has to delete something. Which, it's not bad, but gates are cool too. And red going so far as to doing some double palisade walls, a stone gate here, and those 3 skirmishers. I mean, what are they going to do against an Eagle Warrior? Or Eagle Scout, excuse me. Not a whole lot. And green realizes, I may need to swap some things up. He's now got Eagle Warriors. They're anti-archery. And they do have, I believe it's a +4 bonus cavalry. And if you mix in some pikes, that could be problematic for a player that typically, or a Cid that typically goes into heavy cavalry. So what is green going to do? Well, he's decided that he's going to do something that I don't know if I've ever seen a Berber player do. He's going to invest in barracks, and he's going to go infantry, which is the correct response. One of the correct responses you could do against Eagle Warriors. Eagle Warriors are not specifically designed to fight against infantry necessarily. However, keep in mind that he is playing against the Aztecs, and the Aztecs have the Jaguar Warrior, which is specially designed to fight infantry. And the men-at-arms start coming out. He's got the longsword upgrade on its way. Might want to either set the waypoint inside the base or just keep them inside the barracks. That way you don't lose them. Red selling some food for gold. And the villager count's pretty even. 43 for red, 46 for green. He has 14 Eagle Warriors, some archers. Even investing in some slingers. Slingers are a great counter to the militia line. Both players getting the eco upgrade for wood, bow saw. And look at that. Not seen very often, but the Genitour. 50 hit points if you don't have bloodlines. 70 if you do. And both players content to take a little breather. 50 villagers to 49. Right now, green is sitting on just one TC, but he is building a second one. Red has a second TC up on the gold. And he's also collecting some relics with his monk. Aztecs get that bonus on relic gold. So it's important to try and get those relics as quickly as possible and maintain control of them. So, like I said, this is a unit combination you don't often see. Long Swordsman, and there goes the house, and Genitour. So let's see how well it works out for green.
Walk.
And the Eagle Warriors coming in. The Long Swordsman cleaned them up very nicely. Green content to take that small engagement and fall back for a little bit. Pushing in a little bit now. Red trying to get some pikes out. You want to get some pikes to maybe take out those Genitour, but the Genitour are going to run away and chase this monk down.
Okay.
And there he goes, rip. These Long Swordsmen are doing a fantastic job against these Eagle Warriors and pikes, even cleaning up a couple of archers. I don't think that Red was expecting green to go this route. You do have the benefit of the Eagle Warriors being able to outrun the Long Swordsman, so he can kind of pick and choose the engagements that he takes a little bit better than green can. But you have 56 vills for red, 57 for green, 11 Eagle Warriors to 26 Long Swordsmen. Red is going into some archers again. He's got the crossbow upgrade, and he still has 3 priests as well. I think earlier I said, I think I called them slingers, but I meant to say monks. And the Genitour. I would like to see bloodlines on them. They're so much tankier when they have bloodlines. And if you're going to build a few of them, you might as well get that extra hit points. But using the Genitour to run around, making the Eagle Warriors chase them while he hacks them down with his Long Swordsman, and then wisely targeting the crossbows to take them out. It's a surprisingly effective combination against what Red can put out. And Red is deciding to build a castle to defend his base. Green desperately trying to get in there before he gets the castle up. Red repairing that archery range. The archery range will go down and green will come in, but the castle is up. And green has to fall back. Now that he has a castle up, if red wants to, he can begin to start producing the Jaguar Warriors. Now, Aztecs, Mayans, Incas, they're all fantastic civs, very strong, powerful civs. But one issue is that they don't have any mounted units unless you can convert a stable. And it's just that reduced mobility can really hurt sometimes. It really can. Red desperately trying to get some kind of protection up, protect himself against his woodlines, having to fall back. The Long Swordsmen are coming in. He is cranking out some Jaguar Warriors to get a quick kill there, but he's going to need something to answer these Genitour. Got some Eagle Warriors trying to take him out. The Genitour is still faster than the Eagle Warriors. I don't think they have husbandry. No, it doesn't look like it, but they're still faster, still able to run away if they don't want to engage. The Long Swordsman coming over to this TC, running under the TC fire, having to fall back. But the idle eco time, green has been effective in forcing red off of his wood lines and making him garrison villagers inside of his TCs. So the 5.5% idle eco time and climbing to green's 2.6. Red is trying to get these Jaguar Warrior numbers up. They do have a bonus, like I said, versus Long Swordsman, but heavily outnumbered. Doing much better in the second engagement now that additional numbers come up. Getting Blast Furnace now, or excuse me, Iron Casting now for an additional attack. And he cleans up those Long Swordsmen. Still chasing the Genitours around. The Genitours, unfortunately, running around. He did finally get a gate. Yay, green, got a gate. Going heavy on stone, almost enough for 2 castles now. Probably could use to refresh some lumber camps here. Pretty far walk. Neither player investing in wheelbarrow. And green decides he's going to drop a castle, secure that hill, protect this gold back here. But because this gate's all the way over here, they have to come all the way around this way. Two Genitour and 3 Long Swordsmen. So red currently has the larger military with 7 Jaguar Warriors, 5 Eagle Warriors, 6 Skirmishers, 4 Monks, and 2 Crossbow. But he's falling behind quite a bit in Eco, 66 villagers to 83 villagers. That's a huge difference. And green looking to drop a lumber camp behind that castle so they can start collecting that gold as well. But you know, red does have 2 monks already, or 2 relics already, excuse me, and he is continuing to produce monks. And can he see that? No, he can't. Now he can. Alright. And he's going to run away from that. Building another archery range and a siege workshop as well. And green is on his way to Imperial, and now he's teching into some light cav, which are fantastic for raiding. And if you have the economy to support it, I mean, he's clicking up to Imperial Age, so it costs 1,000 food. He already has 1,000 food in the bank, so he's got more than enough. You might as well crank out some light cav. And I don't understand why red has not clicked up to Imperial yet. He literally has almost 3,000 food and almost 1,000 gold. And if you needed more gold before that, just you have a market, sell some of that food off, and get you some gold so you can click up to Imperial Age. And there we go, finally the Imperial Age. He's also getting wheelbarrow too. Super late. Green still doesn't have wheelbarrow. It is 77 to 87 villagers. Let's see what they can see. Red has scouted most of the base and actually has the score lead, despite having the disadvantage in KD. Green having 68 kills to 50. Not too bad scouting for green, but just still not as good. Red is producing on 3 TCs and has 1 castle. Green has 2 TCs and 2 castles, has a defensive castle on his base, and here come out the Camel Archers and the Light Cav. I don't feel like the Camel Archers get as much recognition as they should either. I mean, they are sort of a situational unit as well, but especially when you're playing against a civ like Aztecs, they don't have any mobility, they don't have any stable units. They can be really good for hitting and running. Green losing a Genitour, but getting some information on what units Red has. And these light cav are getting pumped out here. He's getting some upgrades on him. He did get bloodlines on him, which I'm very happy to see. They both have wheelbarrow now. I would like to see ballistics for the camo archers though. Oh, he's getting it. Never mind. I take that back. And Red is inside of Imperial Age, dropping in another castle to kind of secure that side of his base. And getting Elite Jaguar Warrior. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Green diving in with the light cav, trying to pick off the monks. Following it up with some camo archers. And really taking a good engagement against Red. Using the light cav as a meat shield. Red investing in Garland Wars to get that additional attack on his infantry as well. Overall, not a terrible fight for either one. More light cav getting pumped out. Green's got a lot of wood in the bank, but he's using his food pretty well. And then Red has a lot of food in the bank, but he's using all of his wood. So I don't know if I agree with this. Getting Elite Jaguar Warrior and Elite Eagle Warrior whenever you don't have the units to support it yet. Get those units out first. Have a substantial army. And then think about getting some upgrades. He is getting a trebuchet and building a stone gate. Thinking about possibly trying to push some of these castles down. He does have an outpost. I like that. Maybe he would have built a little bit further away from the TC just to kind of give you more line of sight, but still. The power of outposts are oftentimes very overlooked, especially by lower ranking players. They really give you so much additional line of sight on what you need to see so you can prepare and not get taken by surprise. Green getting 2 trebuchets out first. He will try and push his castle. And Red, he has the Elite Jaguar Warrior upgrade. He has the Elite Eagle Warrior upgrade. But he doesn't have the units. What are you going to do when you don't have the units? There's not much you can do. Always try and build a decent sized army up first before you get the upgrades. And it's starting to look like a little bit of the beginning of the end for Red here. Green having the hill advantage with 2 trebuchets. $90 villagers to 81. He is wide open here, so if Red wanted to try and raid on his left flank. And Red has, once again, 3,000 food. And if he was a Civ that could build light cav, I hope that he would be producing a lot of them, but unfortunately, he doesn't really have anything that's fast other than Eagle Warriors. Which he still could produce those, he has 1,200 gold. That's something, even myself, I struggled a lot. Up until recently, I've gotten better, but I used to really struggle with using my resources and building enough production buildings. I feel like Red has an okay amount of production buildings, but he's not using his resources well. You've got to try and expend them. If you have a crap ton of resources in the bank and you're playing a 1v1, that's not a good thing. You need it, unless you're pop capped. If you're pop capped, you know, it is what it is. But you should be attempting to use those resources as quickly as possible to win your fight. A lot of idle villagers for Red here. deciding to pull away, build a mining camp and get some more stone. And green is beginning to mop up what's left of red's bases. The starting TC will go down. And getting the Hussar upgrade as well to really maximize his raiding capabilities. Red attempting to stabilize, green deciding to drop a castle on this wall, or this hill as well, not realizing that there are eagle warriors over there. Let's see what happens to those villagers.
Comandante?
Yeah, these elite eagle warriors are going to absolutely massacre these villagers. Oh, and it looks like that castle is denied, costing green a decent amount of stone. Both players going out to the far flank and building mining camps. That's funny.
Azul.
I wonder who's going to respond first over here. Neither of them opting for a TC, even though they both have more than enough stone for a TC. Kind of leaves you wide open to raiding. Green is... well, red's taking a decent engagement against him there. Getting some decent hits. Can't remember if Berbers get husbandry or not, but if they do, it might be a good idea to get that. As the cavalry are looking a little on the slow side. Still no react. Oh, and there it is. Green realizes, hey, red's sitting here collecting this gold, and I have enough stone for 2 castles. But is he going to be able to get it up? Green or red sending in eagle warriors, and oh, more villagers going down. But the camel archers are here. Red's gonna have to choose between killing the villagers to deny the castle or fighting these camel archers. He's getting a lot of villagers, but I don't think he's gonna be able to deny this castle. There's still so many other villagers alive. And green even teching into two-handed swordsman to deal with the elite eagle warriors and elite jaguar warriors. Red really trying to stabilize, really trying to hang in, but he calls the GG. A well-played game to both of them. But green kept that pressure on red pretty steady the whole time. He really did. Red tried to stabilize. He built his TC back in his same spot, but it was just a little too late. 56 villagers to 69. Green really lost a lot of villagers on the last 2 castles he tried to get up. But his eco, for the most part, remained untouched. And he was able to continue pumping out units the entire time. So, I just wanted to cast this game because I thought it was an interesting use of the Berber units. I'm a big fan of the Berber Civ. So getting to see some Genitour with a combination of Long Swordsman, which is nothing I had ever seen before, and then some Camel Archers, I thought was a pretty fun game to watch. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it, and until next time, we'll catch you later.